Stuck on number 6? That's okay. There's a pretty big jump in logic between 5 and 6. But this is really important to be able to understand how moving the points around and the equation relate to each other. So what they're really wanting to do, if you're just confused on the directions, is they're wanting you to change 1.3, 2.22, and 1.9. Yours might be different numbers, but they're wanting you to change these numbers to match your graph here. Okay? If you're not sure, play around with it. Pause this and play around with it. But if you're not sure, go ahead and watch the next section of the video. So if you're not sure, I would encourage you to think about what we know about y equals sine x. Remember y equals sine x, we were looking at the point going around the unit circle, and we were looking at the angle from 0 to 2 pi. That took me all the way around the circle once. And then we were looking at the y value, so started at 0, went up to 1, came back to 0, went to -1, and then back to 0. And so this is what the curve looks like. If you think about this in terms of Desmos, the purple dot determines A, the amplitude, which in this case was 1. The orange dot is the vertical shift. In this case was 0. And the green dot is the period, which is, in this case, 2 pi. And so this equation, y equals sine x, kind of builds in these initial values. So what do you think we're going to do if we want to have an amplitude of 4? So an amplitude of 4 instead of 1? Well, hopefully you're thinking back to a previous chapter where we were shifting other things, right? We were taking things like a parabola, and then when a was more than 1, it would do a vertical stretch. So we would get a parabola that was more skinny, like that. So that's a greater than 1. This is a equals 1. So here, hopefully you're thinking that my amplitude instead of 1 should be 4. And so don't look if you're wanting to try this on your own. Maybe I should say this way. Why don't you pause and try to think through this on your own? And then if you aren't sure, come back to the video. So A here is going to be 4. If we change that to 4, it'll give me an amplitude of 4. Vertical shift, the orange, you remember if I wanted to go from y equals x squared, and then I looked at y equals x squared plus 2, that plus 2 would shift it up 2. So in this case, if I want a vertical shift of -3, I need to change 1.9 to -3. And then that will give me a vertical shift of 3. The period is going to be a bit more challenging. I guess know if you have something in a period that's in terms of pi, it's going to look like this. If it's, you know what, I think it would be more helpful if I just look at this example. So here we go, we have a period of 6. To get a period of 6, we're just going to change this number here, and we're going to put 6 in. So it's 2 pi over 6 times x. And so play around with this. This will kind of help you be successful as you're graphing. Make sure to take a look at the textbook problems as well to help you here. Just a matter of practicing, and feel free to reach out to me if